What happens when a small-town mechanic turns his love for diesel trucks into a global empire, only to find himself staring down federal lawsuits and a divided fan base? This is the story of Heavy D Sparks, the face of Discovery Channel's Diesel Brothers, whose wild builds, oversized stunts, and bold personality made him a star. But behind the laughter and roaring engines was a life filled with lawsuits, financial pressure, and personal battles few fans ever saw. Today, we're pulling back the curtain on his rise, fall, and reinvention, revealing the twists that defined Heavy D's unforgettable journey. David Sparks, better known as Heavy D, wasn't born into fame or fortune. He grew up in Layton, Utah, with an obsession for engines that started long before television cameras entered the picture. As a kid, he dismantled bikes, lawnmowers, and anything with a motor just to see how it worked. By high school, he was spending every free moment in shop class, trading textbooks for welding torches and socket wrenches. After a brief stint in college studying mechanical engineering, Sparks realized classrooms couldn't match the thrill of real, greasy hands-on work. He left school behind to pursue building machines full-time. That decision would set the stage for everything that followed. The nickname Heavy D came naturally. He wasn't just Dave anymore. He was the guy who could move mountains with heavy-duty builds that seemed impossible to anyone else. Around this time, he crossed paths with David Kiley, better known as Diesel Dave, in a way that felt almost scripted for TV. Sparks accidentally filled Kiley's truck with gasoline instead of diesel. Instead of a disaster, it sparked a friendship that would shape both of their futures. The two bonded over their shared love of diesel engines, custom builds, and big dreams. They didn't just want to repair trucks, they wanted to reinvent them, and soon their garage was more than a shop. It was the birthplace of an empire. What started as a dusty garage operation in Utah soon exploded into something much bigger. Heavy D and Diesel Dave combined two skills that rarely meet. Sparks had the fabrication genius, while Kiley had the charisma and sales instincts. Together, they created Diesel Sellers, a company that didn't just fix trucks but transformed them into rolling spectacles. The real spark, however, came from social media. At a time when automotive shops relied on word of mouth, Sparks saw opportunity online. He uploaded clips of jaw-dropping builds, burnout stunts, and larger-than-life giveaways. The strategy was simple but genius. Buy a piece of merchandise, get entered to win a custom-built diesel truck. Each giveaway drew thousands of fans, creating viral buzz that money couldn't buy. This grassroots approach soon caught national attention. Their wild antics even reached Jay Leno, who invited them onto his show. That appearance opened the door to Discovery Channel, which saw potential in the duo's chemistry and outrageous creativity. By 2016, Diesel Brothers premiered, and Sparks' life would never be the same again. From a local garage to primetime TV, Heavy D had found his stage. Millions tuned in, drawn to the insane builds, comedic banter, and wild personalities. But with fame came something else too: intense scrutiny, and the first whispers of trouble that would soon erupt into full-blown controversy. By the time Diesel Brothers hit its second season, Sparks wasn't just a mechanic, he was a celebrity. Viewers loved the team's larger-than-life stunts, monster trucks crushing rows of cars, amphibious vehicles rolling into lakes, and drag-ready diesel beasts that defied logic. Heavy D was at the center of it all, sketching builds that seemed impossible and then turning them into roaring realities. The shop itself became a destination. Fans lined up for meet and greets, hoping to glimpse the crew in action. Merchandise sales soared, orders flooded in, and Sparks' reputation as a master builder was cemented. Yet the very thing that fueled his rise, visibility, was also the seed of looming problems. Social media amplified every build. Videos of coal-rolling trucks and emission-spewing stunts went viral, drawing cheers from fans but also catching the attention of critics. For some, Sparks was an innovator redefining custom builds. For others, he was pushing limits at the cost of public health. Still, Heavy D pressed forward with confidence. To him, the builds weren't just entertainment. They were a showcase of engineering creativity and raw horsepower. But the spotlight can be a double-edged sword. And as the Diesel Brothers' fame grew, regulators and watchdogs began to take notice. Soon, what had been playful fun would evolve into a legal storm that threatened everything Sparks had built. The trouble began in 2016, when the Utah Physicians for a Healthy Environment, a group of doctors and citizens focused on air quality, turned their eyes toward Diesel Brothers. They alleged that Sparks and his team were altering or removing emissions controls from their trucks, allowing them to roll coal and pump harmful pollutants into the air. The accusations struck at the heart of the Diesel Brothers' image. On one side, fans loved the outrageous smoke-belching builds. On the other, regulators claimed those same modifications violated federal law. By January 2017, the group had filed a lawsuit accusing Sparks and his team of breaking the Clean Air Act. The case quickly became national news. Courtroom drama painted Heavy D as either a rebellious innovator unfairly targeted by the government or a reckless builder ignoring environmental laws. Evidence piled up, including a 2013 Ford F-250 modified by Sparks' team that tested at 36 times the legal pollution limits. In 2020, the ruling came down. The Diesel brothers were hit with over $848,000 in fines and faced a permanent injunction banning them from removing emission systems. Sparks called the penalties excessive, but the damage was done. The verdict wasn't just financial, it shook the foundation of their brand. But for Heavy D, quitting wasn't an option. The storm might have battered him, but it wouldn't sink him. The lawsuit left scars that went far beyond the courtroom. Financially, the fines were a crushing blow. Emotionally, years of fighting regulators drained Sparks and his team. And publicly, the once carefree image of the Diesel brothers now carried the weight of controversy. Fans, too, were split. Some longed for the smoke-filled chaos of early builds and accused Sparks of selling out by toning things down. Others applauded his ability to pivot, creating wild but compliant projects that still push boundaries without breaking laws. Navigating this divide wasn't easy. Every post could trigger heated debates in the comments. Instead of folding under pressure, Heavy D adapted. He began emphasizing clean but creative builds, proving that engineering genius didn't require black clouds of exhaust. He also leaned into philanthropy, offering to fix emission systems for low-income families, using his platform to highlight community over conflict. From a business standpoint, the brand evolved. Diesel sellers expanded into merchandise, legal modifications, and custom projects that maintained excitement while avoiding legal landmines. The lawsuit had forced a transformation, but Sparks turned it into a showcase of resilience. The controversy could have ended his career. Instead, it reshaped it. Heavy D showed fans and critics that reinvention wasn't a weakness, it was survival. And he wasn't done yet. While the public saw a confident, smiling Heavy D on camera, behind the scenes, life was far more complicated. The lawsuit stretched over years, forcing constant vigilance and financial stress. Sparks admitted that running a business under the watchful eye of regulators was exhausting. Every build, every post, every word had to be measured. Fans also began speculating about his health. In several social media posts, Sparks appeared noticeably thinner, sparking rumors of illness. He never confirmed anything publicly, but the whispers highlighted how little privacy remained in his life. Between filming, managing businesses, and appearing at events, rest was a luxury he rarely enjoyed. Through it all, family remained his anchor. Sparks often shared glimpses of life with his wife Ashley and their children, showing a softer side rarely seen on TV. Yet even these posts sometimes drew harsh or intrusive comments, reminding him that fame could strip away boundaries. The relentless pressure, legal, financial, and personal, could have broken anyone. But Sparks leaned on resilience. He wasn't just fighting for his business, he was protecting his family, his reputation, and his vision. Heavy D's story isn't just about big trucks, it's about the toll of fame, the weight of constant scrutiny, and the determination to keep pushing forward even when the world seemed eager to see him stumble. For years, Diesel Brothers was a staple of Discovery Channel, but as time went on, the show faced disruptions it couldn't outrun. The pandemic in 2020 slowed filming schedules, leaving fans wondering if the series had been canceled. Sparks and his team reassured audiences online, but new episodes trickled out slowly. By 2022, only a handful of episodes had aired, and Discovery's promotional push shifted elsewhere. Rumors of cancellation spread, though no official announcement ever came. Finally, in 2023, Sparks confirmed what fans suspected: Diesel Brothers was over. But this time, the decision wasn't Discovery's, it was theirs. Heavy D explained that he and Diesel Dave wanted control over their content again. Television came with rules, delays, and compromises. YouTube, on the other hand, gave them freedom. They could post when they wanted, build what they wanted, and connect directly with fans without network interference. The end of Diesel Brothers on TV wasn't a failure, it was a pivot. Sparks had already mastered the art of viral content long before Discovery came calling, and now he was ready to do it again, but on his own terms. For fans, it marked the end of an era. For Heavy D, it marked the beginning of his next chapter. Leaving television didn't mean fading into obscurity. If anything, Sparks thrived once he returned to the digital world. On YouTube and Instagram, he showcased oversized builds, daring stunts, and behind-the-scenes content that felt raw and personal. Without the filter of network producers, his creativity ran free. He also expanded his empire beyond trucks. Diesel sellers continued as a business, selling parts, trucks, and merchandise. Sparks branched into equipment rentals, fabrication projects, and even large-scale engineering experiments designed to go viral. The man who once relied on television now relied on his entrepreneurial instincts. What stood out was how carefully Sparks walked the line post-lawsuit. He remained outspoken about government overreach, but he also stayed cautious. His builds were compliant, his messaging careful, and his tone measured. He had learned the cost of pushing too far, and he wasn't eager to repeat it. Still, the energy never faded. Fans tuned in to see a man who wasn't just building machines, he was building a legacy. Life after TV wasn't smaller. It was bigger, freer, and more versatile. Sparks had traded network oversight for independence, and the gamble paid off. The same ambition that once launched Diesel Brothers now powered his self-made digital empire. And Heavy D wasn't slowing down. Heavy D Sparks' journey is more than the story of a mechanic turned TV star. It's a story of reinvention, resilience, and the costs of chasing a dream at full throttle. From a small-town garage to national television, from viral giveaways to federal courtrooms, Sparks' life has been a whirlwind of triumph and turbulence. The lawsuit could have ended everything. Instead, it forced him to evolve, to adapt his brand, and to find new ways to engage fans without sacrificing creativity. His move from television to digital platforms wasn't a retreat. It was a bold pivot that put him back in control. For fans, Heavy D remains a symbol of fearless engineering and relentless drive. His builds may look different now, but the energy, humor, and ambition that made him famous still shine through. He's proven that success isn't just about what you build, it's about how you rebuild when everything falls apart. Today, Sparks continues to inspire, not just with roaring engines and oversized creations, but with a story that shows the true meaning of persistence. His legacy is one of passion, controversy, and endurance, a reminder that greatness is never a straight road, but a winding path filled with setbacks, reinventions, and victories earned the hard way.